Right here. Now. I got it right here.
These guys are shining lights. Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference.
Welcome in, folks. Leading it off for Mount Vernon Naz will be number 2, Nick Mosier, the center fielder. He was 1 for 13 in the series against Huntington. Mount Vernon Naz losing that series 3-0. 3-4 loss, 2-7 and 1-2. Counts evened up at 1 apiece for your batter, Nick Mosier. Mosier entering today with a .417 batting average. It's 4th in the Crossroads League, just beats that one out for a leadoff single. Mosier was All Crossroads League honorable mention a year ago. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 7, Aaron Sale. Sale with a .252 batting average entering today. 33 hits and 22 runs scored and 115 at-bats. First pitch, low and inside for strike number 1. Sale with 22 RBI on the season, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts, 4 for 5 in stolen base attempts. On the bump, it's Matt Fiorini. 5.48 ERA. Has appeared in 11 games with a 1-1 record. 23 innings pitched. He's given up 29 hits, 18 runs, 14 of those earned, 16 walks, 20 strikeouts. Opposing hitters are batting .299 against Fiorini. That ball hit deep into left field, right at the fence, and that is gone. A 2-run home run for Aaron Sale. Sale had a home run in the series against Huntington, now has 2 on the season as MVNU goes up 2-0. That'll bring to the plate number 42, Jake Glover. Starting first baseman. Glover, a .329 batting average, 28 hits, 16 runs scored, and 85 at-bats. He's tied for a team best with 4 home runs on the season, 17 RBI, 23 walks, 12 strikeouts. 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts. 1-1 your count to Glover. He was 3 for 12 with a run scored in the Huntington series. St. Francis coming off the sweep against Grace. MVNU coming off the sweep against Huntington. So both teams for MVNU, they have lost 4 in a row. Cougars have lost 4 in a row as well. Last win, the 7-3 decision against Indiana Wesleyan. That ball drilled into the right center field gap. For a stand-up double for Jake Glover. I'll bring up number 27, Ashton Myers, the DH. He was 3 for 11 with an RBI in the Huntington series. Myers, a .369 batting average, ranks him number 7 in the Crossroads League. 41 hits, 28 runs scored, and 103 at-bats. 4 home run, 35 RBI. His 35 RBIs leads the Crossroads League. 14 walks, 21 strikeouts for Ashton Myers. Myers is senior, 6'1", 195 from Zanesville, Ohio. That ball is drilled to left center field and gone. So 2 two-run home runs for MVNU in the top of the first. 4 batters have reached the plate. They got 4 hits. For Ashton Myers, that is his team best 5th home run of the season. I'll bring the plate number 33, Devin Pearl. 3 for 9 with a run in the Huntington series, starting left fielder. Pearl, a sophomore outfielder, 6'3", 190 from Cardington, Ohio. Fouls off that first pitch, down 0-1. Pearl, a .290 batting average, 34 hits, 21 runs scored in 107 at-bats. 3 triples on the season, ranks him number 40 in the country. His 25 RBI rank him number 5 in the Crossroads League. He's got 9 walks, 16 strikeouts, 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts. He ranks number 17 in the Crossroads League with a .467 slugging percentage. 2-hop chop over to Tony Bova for out number 1. So Pearl, the first out of the game here for the pitcher, Matt Fiorini. That'll bring up number 13, Brant Miller, the shortstop. Miller 1 for 11 with a run scored in the Huntington series. He's a senior at 6'1", 185 from Millersburg, Ohio. Lays down the bunt. Perfectly laid bunt. Fiorini comes up firing. He'll be safe at first. 5th hit of the game here for MVNU. That'll bring up Cam Miller, number 32. Cam's a freshman catcher, 6 foot 195 from Millersburg, Ohio. Behind the plate for St. Francis, it's Jacob Nagy. Tyler Prince at first, Bova at second. Brady Harris at short. Caden Sullivan at third. Jack Harrison left. Noah Frymuth in center and Mikhail McCown in right, making up your defense. Miller 1 for 7 with an RBI in the Huntington series. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Miller, a .388 batting average, ranks him number 9 in the Crossroads League. He has 22 runs scored on 34 hits and 85 at-bats, 20 RBI, 4 walks, 13 strikeouts. Perfect 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts. 1-1 your count with 1 out. Fiorini now up in the count. 1-2. Last time out for Matt was on April the 3rd against Indiana Wesleyan. He faced 19 batters, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. That's his first strikeout of the game. getting Cam Miller swinging. For out number 2, that brings up Corey Clark, second baseman. Clark's a sophomore, 5'8", 170 from Waynesville, Ohio. Take that first pitch low and in for ball 1. Clark 1 for 7 with the run scored in the Huntington series. Enters today with a .400 batting average, 4 hits, 17 runs scored, and 10 at-bats, 2 RBI, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. 1-1 your count. Once again, Clark just a sophomore. Off and running, and he is out at second. Jacob Nagy throws out Brant Miller trying to take second. For out number 3, we head to the bottom of the first. 4-0, Mount Vernon Nabs.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Welcome back. The starting pitcher for Mount Vernon Naz is Caleb Ballman, number 16. Enters today with a 3.45 ERA, which is 8th best in the Crossroads League. In 31.1 innings pitched, he's given up 31 hits, 14 runs, only 12 of those earned. That ranks him number 46 in the country. 10 walks, 23 strikeouts, opposing hitters batting .228 against Ballman. He's got a 3-1 record on the season. Leading off for St. Francis will be Mikhail McCown. He was 7 for 16, 5 runs, 4 RBI against Grace. Cougars dropping all 3 games against Grace. He'll take that first pitch for ball 1. Grace took game 1 17-13, 9-8, and 15-17. 1-1's your count. Foul ball. Looking at the standings now, Grace is in 3rd place in the Crossroads League with an 8-7 conference record. Huntington's in 2nd with an 11-4 conference record, and Marion in 1st place. They're 10-3. Marion currently on an 8-game winning streak. Huntington with a 5-game win streak. Another team that's been picking up wins is Indiana Wesleyan. They're currently tied for 5th place with a 7-8 record. It was just a week ago when both Taylor and Wesleyan were in last place in the Crossroads League, as McHale keeps battling at the dish. Wesleyan currently on a 3-game win streak as they swept Goshen in the series last weekend. Big swing and a miss for out number 1. Be the first strikeout of the game for Caleb Ballman. Brings up Jack Harris. Ballman, just a freshman, 6'2", 185 from Rittman, Ohio. Big righty. First pitch is upstairs to Harris. Jack was 6 for 12 with 5 runs and 4 RBI in the Grace series. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Entering today, Harris with a .327 batting average. That's 20th in the Crossroads League. 35 hits, 27 runs scored, and 107 at-bats. 17 RBI, 1 home run, 15 walks, 29 strikeouts. 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts for Harris. Jack rips that ball right down the left field line. First hit of the game here for St. Francis, and it's going to be a one-out double for Jack Harris. That'll bring the plate Tyler Prince. Entering today, St. Francis ranks number 4 in the Crossroads League with that .284 team batting average. MVNU's number 1, they're batting .311. Tyler Prince, 7 for 14 with 6 runs and 3 RBI in the Gray Series. Takes that first pitch low for strike 1. Prince entering today a .339 batting average, 13th best in the Crossroads League. 39 hits, 27 runs scored, and 115 at-bats. His 12 doubles ranks him number 49 in the country. And number 2 in the Crossroads League, he has 1 home run and 29 RBI. Slugging percentage of .470 ranks him number 15 in the Crossroads League. 31 walks on the season, 22 strikeouts. His on-base percentage of .484 ranks number 6th in the Crossroads League. Down in this count 1-2 with Harris at second. This team down 4-0. 2-2 home run home. 2-run home runs for MVNU there in the top of the first.
I'm going again. Go, Prince. Right here. Come on, big guy.
Count remains at 1-2. Your catcher is Cam Miller. First baseman, Jake Glover. Second baseman, Corey Clark. Shortstop, Brant Miller. Third baseman, Aaron Sale. Left fielder, Devin Pearl. Center fielder, Nick Mosier. And right fielder, Toby Walker. Tyler Prince, all Crossroads League honorable mention last year. Backhanded by the shortstop. That'll advance Harris to third for out number 2. That'll bring up Noah Frymuth, the center fielder. Frymuth entering today a .310 batting average, 40 hits, 23 runs scored, and 129 at-bats. His 40 hits ranks him number 7 in the Crossroads League. 23 runs scored ranks number 10. He also has 11 doubles on the season. That ranks him number 4 in the Crossroads League. 3 home runs and 31 RBI. His 3 round trippers ranks him number 11. And his .481 slugging percentage ranks him number 14 in the conference. Down in this count 0-2. Frymuth, 11 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's 9 for 10 stolen base attempts. His 9 stolen bases ranks him number 12 in the conference.
That way, way to go that way. Come now. That way. I'm not Noah.
Foul. Noah. Way to fight. Come on, kid.
0-2, your count now to Frymuth.
That's out.
The junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. Ball hit into shallow right field. For out number 3, Toby Walker making the snag. We head to the top of the second, 4-0 Mount Vernon Nags.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, We're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com.
Leading off for MVNU will be Corey Clark, Toby Walker, then the top of the order, Nick Mosier. Clark, who was batting in the top of the first when Brant Miller got thrown out trying to steal second base. First pitch fouled away for strike one. Clark 1 for 7 with a run scored once again in the Huntington series. Down to this count now 0-2. Entering today just 10 at-bats and 7 of those in that Huntington series. Just a sophomore. 1-2 is the count. Mount Vernon Naz currently has 4th place all to themselves with a 6-6 conference record. They've played the least amount of conference games than anybody else in the CL. Second strikeout of the game for Fiorini. Bring up Toby Walker. Walker 2 for 5 with an RBI. Against Huntington. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Fiorini really starting to settle down here. Bottom half of the order. Walker entering today at .243 batting average. Hit right at Bova to Prince for out number 2. Two up, 2 down for Fiorini. That'll bring up Nick Mosier. Mosier last year All Crossroads League honorable mention.
Here you go, Fee.
Take that first pitch for strike 1. Mosier with a single and a run scored off the Aaron Sale 2-run home run to lead off this game.
Yeah, Fee. There we go. Yeah, boy.
Mosier now down the count 0-2. Mosier wears number 2, a junior, 5'10", 160 from Sandbury, Ohio, Big Walnut High School. That ball ripped right up the gut for a 2-out single. Mount Vernon Naz, that's their 6th hit of the game. That'll bring up number 7, Sale.
Have a sense of pitching out there. Instead of just fucking throwing shit up there.
Aaron Sale, who had a home run in his first at-bat.
We just talked about
For Sale, his first home run of the season. 1-0 is your count.
Hey, fill it up, Fee.
Excuse me, for Sale, that's his 2nd home run of the season. Ball mishandled in left, so advancing to third base will be Mosier.
Hey, let's go, Fee. Here we go.
We got runners at first and third with 2 outs for Jake Glover, who had a double in his first AB.
Come on, feet. Come on, 3-2. Keep working, baby. I'm now, feet. Bro, boys. Let's go, kid. I'm now.
Glover once again 3 for 12 in that Huntington series. Take that first pitch for ball 1.
I'm now, feet. Come on, feet. Let's go, Matt.
Glover, a sophomore, 6'1", 240 from Miamisburg, Ohio, Carlisle High School.
Yeah, good. There you go. Let's go. Let's keep the chatter going, boys. Keep the chatter. Let's go.
1-1 your count. Bethel College currently in 10th place in the Crossroads League with a 5-10 record. St. Francis and Goshen tied for 8th place with a 6-9 record.
Hey, down, kid. Work down. Hum now.
Goshen, which swept the Taylor series, got swept in their last series. As the chopper goes to Bova for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Cougars down 4-0.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off today.
In the bottom of the second, leading off for St. Francis, Caden Sullivan, Jacob Nagy on deck, and David Miller in the hole. Miller's your DH in today's game. Caden 4 for 12 with 4 RBI in the Grace series. His batting average has steadily been on the rise entering today's game. Caden with a .303 batting average entering today. Rips that ball shallow center, and that will fall. Lead-off single. It's the second hit of the day for St. Francis. We'll bring up Jacob Nagy. 3 for 9, a run scored, and 3 RBI against Grace. Nagy with a .306 batting average entering today, 22 hits, 2 runs scored, and 72 at-bats. Takes that first pitch for a strike. 0-1's your count.
Come on, Nag!
Nagy 1 home run. That came against Bethel, and 17 RBI. 10 walks, 14 strikeouts for Nagy. Counts evened up at 1 apiece.
See ball, hit ball, hum now.
Been talking about it a little bit this season, but a lot of chatter that Mount Vernon Naz wants to leave the Crossroads League.
Hey, move.
If they left the Crossroads League, they would go to the River States Conference. That's what some of the chatter is saying. Nagy right over the outstretched hand of the second baseman. Back-to-back singles here in the bottom of the second for your Cougars. Puts runners at first and second. Now the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference does have 11 teams. Our courtesy runner is going to be Justice Tussing for Nagy. Your batter is David Miller. Miller was 0 for 1 in the Gray Series.
That's Mooch's room right there. Same bed. Come on, David!
So if MVNU left the Crossroads League, some are wondering if Siena Heights would join the Crossroads League.
Don't fight the ball, Caden. Kick the ball.
Siena Heights is in St. Francis Football Conference, the MSFA Mid-East. But that would give the WAC and the Crossroads League 10 teams, and that would have MVNU going to the River States. Cincinnati Christian's in that conference, as Miller's down this count 0-2.
Come on, big fella.
A lot of Kentucky teams. IU Kokomo out of Indiana and IU Southeast. Ohio Christian, Rio Grande out of Ohio, and Cincinnati Christian, all in the River States. 1-2 is your count. We enjoy having MVNU in the Crossroads League. Boy, they've really picked it up in their men's basketball team. The chopper right off the chest. And Caden Sullivan going to come home to score. Heads up running. As Sully's the first one of the game here for St. Francis on the David Miller RBI single. I'd call that a single right there, as the short hop was hard to handle by the first baseman, number 42, Jake Glover. That'll bring to the plate Brady Harris. See what the official ruling is, see if they gave it an error. And they are. They're going to say that's an error on Mount Vernon Nats.
Hey, listen up. When you guys are running like that, good job, Sully. Your first baseman here just threw like a whole ball game this weekend, so his arm's dragging a little bit. So you have a chance to maybe get one.
0-1, your count to Harris. Brady 2 for 7 with 2 runs scored against Grace. Flashes the bunt and pulls it back for ball 1. So no RBI for Miller. Instead, it's the E3. That'll be an unearned run tacked to Caleb Ballman. 1-2 your count to Harris. Entering today at 208 batting average, 26 hits, 19 runs scored, and 125 at-bats. 7 RBI, 23 walks, 38 strikeouts, 7 for 8 in stolen base attempts. His 7 stolen bases has him in the top 20 in the Crossroads League. 4-6-3 double play. Advancing to third base is Justice Tussing.
Come on, Bo!
Bova 2 for 7 with 2 runs scored against Grace. Tony enters today with a .256 batting average, 21 hits, 14 runs scored, and 82 at-bats with 4 RBI. 5 walks, 25 strikeouts. His 11 stolen bases ranks him number 9 in the Crossroads League. It's the best for St. Francis. Bova, at times, has been a perfect bunter for St. Francis, laying it right down the third base line. 1-1's your count. More times than not, he's laying down that perfect bunt. 1-2 your count. Off-speed pitch is fouled off. Once again, it's number 16, Caleb Ballman, the freshman from Rittman, Ohio, Rittman High School. Good looking pitcher here for MVNU in his freshman year.
Come on, Bo.
Ballman, 23 strikeouts to just 10 walks. And opposing batters hitting .228 against them. Outstanding way to start his career. As Bova keeps battling at the dish here with 2 outs. And a runner in scoring position.
He went and got that one.
Good spoil. Love it. Chip in. Chip away. Love it. Bobo. We said that, Tony. Yeah.
Counts evened up at 2 apiece.
Dude. Go, Bo.
Last time out for Ballman was against Huntington on April 5th. He faced 19 batters, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Had 5 strikeouts, just 2 walks. For the freshman Ballman. Great start to the season for Huntington, the only team in the Crossroads League with single-digit losses. They're 17-9 overall. Spova goes down for 8, out number 3. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. 4-1, Mount Vernon Nats.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Here in the top of the 3rd, we have the number 4 batter, Ashton Myers, Devin Pearl, and Brant Miller. Due up for MVNU. Ohio Cougars currently 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. St. Francis 1 run on 3 hits, 0 errors. Myers, who homered in his first at-bat, up in this count 1-0. Myers' 5th home run of the season. Two O's your count. Fiorini, 2 innings under his belt, 37 pitches, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs. For Matt Fiorini. 2-1, now your count. Myers is a senior, 6'1", 195. Ball hit right up the gut. So Myers now 2 for 2 in this game. That's the 8th hit for MVNU. Leadoff single brings up Devin Pearl. Pearl, who grounded out to the second baseman, Tony Bova, in his first at-bat.
Come on, B, get your ground ball here, baby.
Pearl entering today at 290 batting average, 34 hits, 21 runs scored, and 107 at-bats. Once again, his 3 triples ranks him number 40 in the country.
Live there!
Down in this count 0-1.
Live low, baby, live low!
Pearl 3 for 9 against Huntington. Once again, talking about Goshen, they just got swept by Indiana Wesleyan. That's how Wesleyan was able to move up to 5th place. They're tied for Spring Arbor for 5th.
Hey, baby!
Fiorini up in this count
Win
1-2.
2 out of 3, baby!
Your Cougars will host Spring Arbor on Friday, then a doubleheader on Saturday, before hosting Mount Vernon Naz again next Tuesday for a doubleheader here at the Ash Center. Cougars game against IU South Bend has been moved up to this Sunday. It'll be a single 9-inning game, 3 p.m. first pitch. Do apologize, but we will not have coverage of the Spring Arbor series. Do have our Cougar football spring game on Saturday, and softball on Friday. Pitch just misses low. Full count. Devin Pearl, the sophomore, 6'3", 190. Went to Cardington High School. Nice backhand by Prince. So he's going to get the for sure out at first for out number 1.
Good job, Tyler. Nice job, Ty.
Advancing to second is Myers. That'll bring up number 13, Brant Miller, who singled back in the first and was caught stealing as Jacob Nagy threw him out at second. That ended the first. Brant 1 for 11 with a run scored for the shortstop. That was in the Huntington series. Brant, a senior from Millersburg, Ohio. Berlin Hilland is his high school. Oh, 1 your count. Excuse me, 0-2 now. Up next for Mount Vernon Naz, they'll finish up their series with Marion tomorrow with a doubleheader. They lost their first game against Marion 6-4 in 10 innings. Marion, first place team in the Crossroads League. Ball ripped into center. Frymuth is on it for out number 2. Two outs, that'll bring up number 32, Cam Miller, the catcher. Miller, the only freshman starting here for Mount Vernon Naz. Cam Miller, a .406 batting average, 13 hits, 3 runs scored, and 32 at-bats. Looking to pick up some more time here is the freshman swinging a hot bat. Was 1 for 7 with an RBI against Huntington. Ball right to Harris out in shallow left for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the third, 4-1. Mount Vernon Naz on top.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Mount Vernon Naz 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. St. Francis 1 run on 3 hits, 0 errors. Once again, entering today, Mount Vernon Naz, the #1 ranked team in the Crossroads League with that .311 team batting average. St. Francis at .284 ranks 4th in the Crossroads League. Both teams with 191 RBI entering today. Mount Vernon Naz added to that home run total. They now have 14. Leading it off is the leadoff batter, Mikhail McCown, here in the bottom of the third. McCown rips that ball into left center, and that'll get over the head of the left fielder, Devin Pearl. Leadoff double for Mikhail McCown. Beautiful piece of hitting for the 4th hit of the game for St. Francis. Mikhail, 2nd on the team with 2 home runs.
Phone.
For St. Francis. That'll bring up Jack Harris. Jack, who had his first home run of the season against Grace, the 4th of his career. 1-0, your count. Harris with a double in his first at-bat. He was 6 for 12 in the Grace series, batting .500. Everybody hitting that Grace series for both teams. The Crossroads League Player of the Week was Grace Griffin, their freshman first baseman. He had 15 hits and 22 at-bats last week. He went 11 for 13 just against St. Francis with 2 triples and a home run. Or was it 3 triples? I think he had 2 triples in one game. It's pretty crazy performance there for the freshman first baseman.
Let's go. Let's roll with it.
Now the top hitter in the Crossroads League. McCown easily back at 2nd. Once again, it's Caleb Ballman, 2 innings pitched. 48 pitches under his belt, has given up 4 hits, 1 run. It was not earned, 2 strikeouts for Ballman so far in this game. 2-1 your count. Ballman with just 4 less pitches than Fiorini, the Cougar starter. St. Francis Cougars. Pretty sure we're the only conference in the NAIA to have 3 of the 10 teams be nicknamed the Cougars. Spring Arbor being the other out of Michigan.
So many Cougars.
A lot of Cougars.
A lot of Cougars.
2-1 to Harris. Last I checked, I think Cougars was the 6th most popular nickname in college sports. I think Bulldogs was number 1, if you can believe that. Wildcats was number 4, I think. A long time ago, though, when I checked that. Full count now to Harris with McCowan at second and 0 outs. There's been a couple of these marathon at-bats. Tony Bova had one in the bottom of the second. As you can see, Ballman's pitch count right up there with the Cougar starter, Fiorini. Matt Fiorini, just a junior at 6'1", 220. That ball's ripped into left field. McCowan going to come home to score. Throw will not be in time. RBI single by Jack Harris gives the Cougars its second run of the game. Down 4-2. Beautiful piece of hitting. Jack Harris now 2 for 2 in this game. He's got the first RBI here for St. Francis. That's number 120 on the season. That'll bring to the plate number 23, Tyler Prince. Grounded out to the shortstop in his first AB. 1-0 is your count. 0 outs here in the bottom of the third. St. Francis can hit with the best of them here in the Crossroads League as Prince takes that for a called strike. 1-1's your count. Prince batted .500 against Grace. He was 7 for 14 at the plate. 6 runs scored. That was a team best. 2-1, now your count. St. Francis, if you look at the pitching rotation, most recently it's been going Matt Baker in game 1, Tanner Gaff in game 2, and Fiorini in game 3. Just a few years ago, when I first started, about 8 years ago, you'd always play 2 doubleheaders. Prince rips it into left field. Third straight hit here for the Cougs in the bottom of the third. Back-to-back singles has runners at first and second for Noah Frymuth. Frymuth flied out to right field in his first at-bat. Noah once again 4 for 11, 3 runs, 3 RBI against Grace this past Friday and Saturday. 3-game series. He'll take that first pitch upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah. Keep chipping away, boys. Keep chipping away.
I'm fried. Yeah. I'm fried.
Yeah. Yeah, hum.
1-0 the count to Frymuth, who was back-to-back Crossroads League Player of the Week. I'll be picked up by the third baseman, not in time for the double play. So Harris is out at third on the fielder's choice. Be Prince at second. Your batter now, Caden Sullivan. Sully had a single and a run scored back in the second. He scored on the E3 with David Miller at the plate. Take that first pitch for a strike. Sullivan 4 for 12 against Grace, batting .300 in the series. Guess that'd be 333. 4 RBI. Down in this count, 0-2. With runners at first and second, they can get around. Frymuth and Prince. Sullivan, just a sophomore, out of Lima, Ohio. The 6-4-3 gets him. So we'll head to the top of the fourth. Cougs pick up another run, down 4-2.
Stay tough on D. We'll keep chipping away.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Here in the top of the fourth, it's going to be the number 8 batter, Corey Clark, Toby Walker, and then the top of the order, Nick Mosier. Mosier 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a run scored. Corey Clark, just a sophomore, 5'8", 170. Starting second baseman. 1 for 7 with a run scored in the series against Huntington. Huntington, once again, in second place in the Crossroads League. But if MVNU should split with Marion tomorrow, well, then they'd have the same record, Marion would, as Huntington. Clark, once again, a .400 batting average, just 10 at-bats under his belt entering today. Actually, I think the season stats I have are just a little bit off for MVNU. Clark, a 188. Oh, that was last year. Clark, 188 last year. 294. 5 hits, 18 runs scored, and 17 at-bats. 1 and 2 is your count. Printed off the stats yesterday. They just, I don't think they got updated until today, or maybe later last night. Pitch misses outside. Nagy's setting up on the outside corner. 2-2 is your count.
That's a quality pitch for those that are watching, paying attention.
Big cuts, swing and a miss. Fiorini now with 3 strikeouts in this game. 1 up, 1 down for Fiorini. We'll bring up the number 9 batter, Toby Walker. Grounded out to the second baseman, Tony Bova, in his first AB. First pitch is a ball inside. Walker 2 for 5 with an RBI against Huntington. He's only a sophomore from Archbold, Ohio. Ball hit into left, right at Harris for out number 2. Fiorini is moving here in the top of the fourth.
Hey, we got 2.
I'll bring up Nick Mosier, 2 for 2 in this game.
Gotta like that. Gotta like that.
Fiorini with 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging in this game.
He's fast.
Not a bad pitch.
I mean, he makes fast people look
"1-0 your count to Mosier. Just paints the outside corner, evened up at 1 apiece. Over to Bova. For out number 3. We are moving along nicely in this game. In the bottom of the 4th, Cougs down 4-2.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Welcome back, everybody. Leading off for St. Francis will be Jacob Nagy, David Miller, and Brady Harris. Nagy with a single in his first at-bat. Once again in the Grace Series, 3 for 9 with a run and 3 RBI. Nagy's been swinging a hot bat to where he'll be put in as a DH when he's not catching. One up, one down for Caleb Ballman.
Hey, let's go, big fella. Come on, David.
They'll bring up David Miller. Miller, who reached safely on the E3, then was part of a 4-6-3 double play. 0-1 your count. David Miller entering today at .375 batting average, 12 hits, 10 runs scored, and 32 at-bats with 1 home run, 5 RBI, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for Miller. Went low for that one, 0-2's your count. Miller, who just transferred to St. Francis this season from Glen Oaks Junior College, came here to play basketball, goes down swinging for out number 2. That'll bring up Brady Harris, the starting shortstop. Brady, 3 for 12 with 3 runs scored in that series against Grace, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. Brady, a junior, 6 foot, 175 from Muncie, Indiana, Cohen High School. Brady's got a great demeanor here on game days, 100% focused. Brings a good positive attitude to the dugout. Once again, just a junior. Harris on the 0-2, rips it up the gut. That'll be the 7th hit of the game for St. Francis. Mount Vernon Nass currently with just 8 hits. So the Cougars slowly but surely continuing to chip away here at the Ohio Cougars. Remember, MVNU had 4 hits in their first 4 ABs, including 2 home runs and 4 runs scored. I'll bring up Tony Bova with Harris at first. Brady going to get checked back to first base. Harris with 7 stolen bases and 8 attempts. His 7 stolen bases ranks him number 17 in the Crossroads League. Matter of fact, looking at Mount Vernon Naz, they rank number 37 in the country in caught stealing. They've been caught stealing 19 times, and Nagy's already thrown out one of the runners. 1-0's the count. Count's evened up at 1-1 after the misspun attempt. MVNU also ranks number 8 in the country in fielding percentage with a .970 fielding percentage. St. Francis ranks number 44 in the country, averaging 1.9 errors per game. So that would definitely draw your eyes in favor of MVNU with that outstanding fielding percentage. Don't expect that to change much on this surface. Good eye by Bova. Bova had that marathon AB back in the second. Bova, that one looked like it was off his ankle. So he'll walk it off. Counts evened up at 2 apiece with 2 outs. Bova 2 for 7 with 2 runs scored against Grace. Last year, Mount Vernon Naz did have 1 player on the All Crossroads League first team. That was Jesse Stout, no longer with the squad. Both St. Francis and MVNU had 3 players on the honorable mention. So the count's now full to Bova. 2 of those were Noah Frymuth and Tyler Prince for St. Francis. For MVNU was Nick Mosier, Drew Ritchie, and Mark Rader. Apologize, I really don't have a view there of what happened in the corner. Looks like the ball might have stayed in, just that the right fielder could not catch up to it. It's Toby Walker, number 5 out and right. Walker, the sophomore outfielder. No press box here at the World Baseball Academy. We've been broadcasting from the dugout all year long.
Come on, dugout. Come on, dugout.
We're hosting 21 events here this year.
Yeah!
That means over 30 games broadcasted. Bova's going to draw the walk. We got runners at first and second.
Come on, Mick!
For the leadoff batter, Mikhail McCowan, who roped a double to left center field in his first at-bat. That same hit here would probably score 2. Bova and Harris bring a lot of speed to the base pass. Bova with the team best 11 stolen bases entering today as Mikhail checks that first one for a strike. For Ballman, that's his first walk of the game. For the freshman hurler, McCowan fouled that off his leg, 0-2's the count. If Ballman's the number 3 pitcher, that would make Jake Glover the number 1. He's got a 2.96 ERA, ranks him number 5 in the Crossroads League. And Mark Rader, number 2, he's got a 2.91 ERA. You could pretty much flip them guys around. So it looks like it's Rader, Glover, and Ballman. Adam Goodpaster is their closer. He's got 6 saves, which ranks him number 12 in the NAIA.
Come on, Mick, fight.
Got 2 high school games here at the WBA. A near nice backhand there by Yanni Patton, number 29, in the dugout. Nearly fielded it cleanly. Mikhail will go down swinging for out number 3 as they throw him out at first. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Cougars leave 2 stranded. Down 4-2.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Leading it off is the number 2 batter, Aaron Sale. 2 for 2 in this game with a single and a home run and a run scored. Sale swings at the first one, drilled into center, and that ball is going to get behind Frymuth. That'll be a leadoff double by Sale. It's the 9th hit of the game there for MVNU. That'll bring to the plate Jake Glover, the first baseman. 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Glover's just a sophomore. I think it's safe to say that the Mount Vernon Naz pitching rotation is good to go for the next couple of years with Glover and Bauman.
Let's go, kid.
Glover, the sophomore, Bauman, the freshman. Raiders just a junior. 1-on-1's your count. One ball, one strike to the sophomore, Jake Glover. Entering today with a .329 batting average. His .541 slugging percentage ranks him number 11 in the Crossroads League. Down in this count, 1-2 now to Fiorini.
Get him here, feet.
Matt, 3 strikeouts, 0 walks in this game. Ball in the dirt. Good job by Nagy keeping it in front. But taking third will be Sale on the wild pitch. 2-2 is your count. Southeastern out of Florida, still ranked number 1 in the country. It's been the same teams: Faulkner, Tennessee Wesleyan, Georgia Gwinnett, Oklahoma City. Freed Hardman out of Tennessee, coming in at number 6. Indiana Tech now ranked number 22nd in the country, falling from number 16. Taylor's dropped out of the top 25. That was after they lost that series 3-0 against Goshen. Big shocker there. Wesleyan turns around and sweeps Goshen. Now Wesleyan's tied for 5th place, and Taylor's in 7th place in the Crossroads League. Taylor's remaining schedule, they're going to have to win out here. I shouldn't say win out, but they've got Marion for 3, currently in the Bethel series for 3, Wesleyan for 3, and St. Francis for 3. So not easy for Taylor University. These 3 games against Marion are going to be really tough. And obviously Wesleyan brings a good squad with them. Wesleyan 13-24 overall, but man, we've played them 3 times. And we won this series, taking it 2-1 for Fiorini, his first walk of the game. Goes against Glover. But Wesleyan, last year, 3 of the 4 starting pitchers in the All-Crossroads League came from Wesleyan. And Young and Eder are still on the squad. Going to bring up Ashton Myers, the DH, the cleanup hitter, 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. 2 RBI and a run scored. Take that first pitch for ball 1 with runners at the corner.
Hey, come on now, feet. Come on, 3-2. You go, feet!
Fiorini, the big lefty. 1 hop chop over to Bova, flips it to Harris. 4-6-3 double play. Coming home to score will be Aaron Sale. We got 2 outs. MVNU up 5-2. Good double play ball there on the 4-6-3. It's Glover out at second. That'll bring up Devin Pearl, the left fielder. 0 for 2 in this game. Sale, he'll score his 2nd run of the game. That ball's ripped into left for a 2-out single. It's the 10th hit of the game for MVNU. St. Francis currently with 7. Shortstop Brant Miller now at the plate. Pitch at the knees called strike 1. Miller singled in his first at-bat and flew out to center field in his second. 1 for 2. Swings at the ball in the dirt. 0-2's your count. Two outs here in the top of the 5th. That ball chopped right at Fiorini. He lost it in the sun there. So that's going to be a E1. And extending or advancing to second is Pearl. First error of the game for St. Francis. That'll bring to the plate Cam Miller, the catcher, 0 for 2 in this game. Miller 0 for 2 in this one. had been swinging a hot bat for MVNU. 0-1 your count. Nice pitch. Fiorini gets him swinging. Up in this count now, 0-2. See if the off-speed pitch comes here to number 32, Miller, the freshman. Pitch misses low, 1-2 your count. Fiorini going strong here. 78 pitches under his belt. Windy day at the World Baseball Academy. Winds blowing from left to right. Really didn't help those home runs get over the left center field fence. But they really didn't have a problem getting over either. 1-2 is your count. Big swing and a miss for out number 3. Fiorini picks up his 4th strikeout of the game as we head to the bottom of the 5th. 5-2 MVNU on top.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Here in the bottom of the 5th, Mount Vernon Naz with 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. St. Francis 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for your Cougars. Be Jack Harris, Tyler Prince, and Noah Frymuth. Jack 2 for 2 with an RBI.
Stay up, boys. Let's go. Stay up.
Swinging a hot bat. Harris batting 500 in the series against Grace, going 6 for 12. 5-run, 4 RBI. Now 4 RBI in the last 4 games, or 5 RBI, excuse me. 1-0 is your count to Harris. Harris just a junior, left fielder. He really solidified himself as a starting left fielder after the series against Goshen back on March the 8th. 2-1 now your count. Harris now 3 for 3 as that ball gets down into right center. Harris now hustling for a second, and he's got it. Lead off double, 8th hit of the game for St. Francis. Jack his 2nd double of the game.
Stay hot, Jackie. 3-piece confirmed.
Harris now 7 doubles on the season. I'll bring up Tyler Prince. For Harris, actually, I believe it was the Concordia doubleheader. He was 3 for 6. in the Concordia doubleheader with a run and 2 RBI. Against Goshen, he was 4 for 5 with 2 runs, 1 for 3, and 2 for 4 with a run. Looks like that's going to be it for Bauman. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with the new pitcher.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Your new pitcher is number 37, Peyton Booth, the junior. Righty, 6'2", 220 pounds from Heath, Ohio, Heath High School. Booth, an 8.63 ERA, has appeared in 9 games. 24 innings pitched under his belt. He's given up 33 hits, 23 runs all earned, 9 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opposing hitters are batting .337 against Booth.
Hey, go TP!
Up in this count, 0-1. Prince 1 for 2 with a single. Pitch right at the knees, 0-2's your count. Breaking ball gets him. Route number 1. First strikeout of the game for Booth. Gets Prince looking. That'll bring up Noah Frymouth. Noah 0 for 2. Had 14 RBIs in that week that we played Madonna. And we played Siena Heights. What did we play that week? Yeah, it was Madonna, Siena Heights. And the Wesleyan doubleheader. So against those 3 teams, Frymouth was the Crossroads League Player of the Week. He had 14 RBI. He was also the Player of the Week before. When he had his first home run of the season, dead center shot at Marion. Cougs pulling off the victory against the Knights.
Baby, fiver!
Nice. St. Francis winning 14-3 at Marion to open up. Actually, I guess that was the second team in Crossroads League that we played. We did lose the series against Goshen, as that ball's ripped right down the right field line. Frymouth going to haul into second. Now to third. That'll be an RBI triple by Noah Frymouth as the Cougs now down 5-3.
Chopper's out. Who's in the hole?
It's going to bring up Caden Sullivan. RBI triple by Noah Frymouth. He was off and running as that ball was hit perfectly down the right field line. 0-1's your count to Sully. Caden 1 for 2, had a single and scored a run back in the second.
Come on, Caden, let's go, baby. Hit ball. Good job, you kid.
Come on, nigga.
So Booth, both of his outs here have been via the strikeout. That brings up Jacob Nagy, who's 1 for 2 with a single.
I'm not begging, boy. Come on, Nagy.
Man on third, less than 2 out. You gotta have him in. You gotta start doing shots. Have an approach, have a plan.
Nagy
Cream cheese up first, baby. Go.
thought that one was close to hitting his helmet. 1-0's the count.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Nag. Yeah! Go, Nagy. You go, Nagy. We know what that thing is.
Hey, probably like first or second pitch. Come on, Nagy.
Good. Yeah.
So Nagy's going to draw the walk on 4 straight pitches. Runners at the corners now for David Miller,
Yeah, Nagy.
the junior DH.
Come on, big fella. Let's go.
Miller batting out of the 7-hole. David goes 6'5", 205. Fastball upstairs. Gets checked for ball 1. As Tussing is going to steal second. No look by Booth. Tussing was off before he even got started in his windup.
Miller, do a job. Let's go, kid. Home now. That's all you see. What happens?
2-0 the count.
Come on, David. Come on, David.
For Tussing, that's his 6th stolen base of the season.
Come on, big fella.
2-1 now to Miller with 2 runners in scoring position. He's the go-ahead run at the plate. 2-2 now your count.
Hey, battle 2, kid. Battle 2. See ball, hit ball. Protect the plate. Let's go. Home now.
Miller goes down swinging for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the 6th. MVNU up 5-3.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
So Matt Fiorini still on the bump. 82 pitches under his belt. He's given up 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 home runs for Fiorini. Leading off here is the second baseman, Corey Clark.
Yeah, feet.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece. To Clark, struck out in his first 2 at-bats here against Fiorini. Fiorini with 4 strikeouts in this game.
Yeah, no, I kind of wanted to feel small.
Up in this count, 1-2.
I feel like I'm on the beach. I'm playing baseball on the beach, nothing better. Up big. Good!
Gets him looking for out number 1.
Real good!
Matt's 5th strikeout of the game. We'll bring up Toby Walker 0 for 2. Walker flew out to left field in his last AB. First pitch swung on. For Fiorini, he now has a season-high 5 Ks. Walker at first. That'll bring up Mosier, the leadoff hitter. Walker on first after the bunt single. 11th hit of the game for MVNU. 0-1's your count. Mosier 2 for 3. Grounded out to the second baseman Bova in his last AB back in the 4th. 1-1 your count. Fiorini just catches the corner. 1-2.
Beautiful pitch.
1-2 with 1 out. Walker at first. Chopper flipped over to Harris. That one thrown in the dugout. So the batter will advance to second. 2 outs. Mosier reaches on the fielder's choice. Walker out with the 4-6. That'll bring up Aaron Sale. 3 for 3 in this game with a home run, a double, and a single. 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. He's got 4 RBI and 3 runs scored in his last 4 games. First pitch drilled into right center. That'll be cut off by Mikhail McCowan on the RBI double. MVNU up now 6-3. Sale with his 3rd RBI of the game. Mosier with his 2nd run scored in this game. That'll bring up Glover. MVNU now at 12 hits, St. Francis with 9. St. Francis now with 2 errors in this game. Nagy gets him at 3rd. Route number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Cougs trail it by 3.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Still on the bump here, it's Peyton Booth. Recorded all 3 of his outs. They were strikeouts there in the bottom of the 6th. Brady Harris grounds out to short for out number 1. Brings up Tony Bova. Booth, 18 pitches, giving up 1 hit. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. And 1 1/3 innings pitched. Bova walked in his last AB. He's 0 for 1.
He's at 93.
Hey, come on, Bo. Let's get us going, Bo.
Booth, that one a little bit too inside. 0-2's your count, though, after the called second strike. Bova, that'll be picked up by Booth for out number 1. Out number 2, excuse me. Booth getting the assist on the 1-3. That'll bring up leadoff batter Mikhail McCowan. Mikhail's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored, 2 strikeouts. Mikhail has scored 6 runs now in his past 4 games.
That wasn't you?
1 through 5 on the England. 3 didn't, but 3 laced the ball off the PHP. 3 laced the ball off the PHP.
0-1, your count to McCown. Booth doing a good job painting the corners. Booth at 6'2", 220. Gets his 4th strikeout of the game. We'll head to the top of the 7th, 6-3 MVNU.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Fiorini out for the top of the 7th. He's got 93 pitches under his belt. He's given up 12 hits, 6 runs, only 5 of those earned. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 home runs. So good control here by Fiorini, making it all the way to the 7th. The MVNU starter, Caleb Ballman, made it through 4 innings with 87 pitches, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those earned, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Peyton Booth already has 4 strikeouts and 2 innings of work for MVNU. Leading it off is Jake Glover. First baseman. That ball just foul. Fielded by Prince. 0-1's your count.
Tyler, did you think you were going to get that? Good play. Good hustle, Tyler.
0-1 your count. Glover also an ace pitcher. Down in this count 0-2. And just a sophomore. Glover's 2.96 ERA ranks him number 5 in the Crossroads League, and he's got a 6-2 record from the mound as Harris comes up firing for out number 1. His 6 wins ranks him number 38 in NEI. Glover now 1 for 4 in this game after his double in the first. That'll bring up Ashton Myers, 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. He's got 2 RBI and a run scored. Ashton now with 5 home runs on the season. After his home run in the first, that'll get down in center. 13th hit of the game for MVNU. Ashton now 3 for 4. That'll bring up Devin Pearl, the left fielder. He's 1 for 3. Had a single and reached second back in the 5th. Pearl just a sophomore. Young team here for MVNU. And a lot of young pitching talent here on display for the Ohio Cougars. Good job by Fiorini up in this count, 0-1. Fiorini really giving his team a chance here. Sullivan playing in on the grass at third. Ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Nagy.
Good block.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece with 1 out. Other action going on in the Crossroads League. It's Wesleyan at Grace, Taylor at Bethel, Goshen at Spring Arbor, Marion at Huntington. Need to keep an eye on that Marion at Huntington game. That ball fought over to Harris for out number 2. Like it went off the inside of the bat for Pearl. 2 gone for Brant Miller. Brant 1 for 3. Reached on an E1 back in the 5th. Had a single but was caught stealing back in the first. That ball gets down. Frymuth, the 1-hop throw to third. Fourteenth hit of the game for Mount Vernon Naz. That'll bring up Cam Miller, who's 0 for 3 and struck out in his last at-bat for the freshman catcher. Fiorini's been doing well against these next 2 batters. 5 strikeouts combined against the next 2. Corey Clark's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He and Miller are the only guys that have struck out in this game for MVNU. That ball, nice stop by Sullivan. So he just stepped on third. Got the unassisted there. That could have been a double play. Either way, a great stop. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 6-3 St. Francis.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
The big man, Peyton Booth, number 37, still on the bump. The junior hurler at 6'2", 220. He's got 2 innings pitched under his belt, 25 pitches. He's only given up 1 hit and has 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Be Jack Harris leading off for St. Francis. Nobody better to do it for your Cougs right now. Harris with 2 doubles. He's 3 for 3 with a RBI and a run scored. Harris has come to play. Last year, Nick Mosier led MVNU with a .369 batting average. Jesse Stahl was at .349. Stahl had 13 home runs. Wow. Harris goes opposite field, and that will get down. He's now 4 for 4 in this game.
Nice job, Bob.
That's the 10th hit of the game for St. Francis. It's going to bring up Tyler Prince.
What? All right. Good job. What? Huh? Good job, here, big guy.
Prince 1 for 3 with a single, struck out looking in his last at bat. Looks like Marion and Huntington are scoreless right now. Matt Burlington's on the bump for the Knights. It's Joey Butts for Huntington.
Come on.
Back-to-back singles. We got runners at first and second. That'll bring the plate Noah Frymuth. Frymuth just 1 swing of the bat here. Can tie this game up at 6. Noah 1 for 3 with an RBI in this game. Up in this count 1-0. Frymuth with the RBI triple back in the 5th. That scored Jack Harris. That triple was off number 37, Peyton Booth. Pitch inside. That zone has been just a little bit outside the edge of the plate, both inside and outside. Hump's been consistent. Breaking ball is going to miss low and out. 2-1 your count. So Marion and Huntington just getting underway. They're in Huntington, Indiana. Frymuth, the 6-4-3. That will do it as we head to the top of the 8th, 6-3. Mount Vernon Naz on top.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me,
excuse me, that's just 2 down with Jack Harris at third.
I'm not 2-1. Pick me up here, Kate.
Sullivan 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored.
Pick me up here, 2-1. No better.
Stopped there by Cam Miller, the catcher. That ball's punched into right field. RBI single by Caden Sullivan. St. Francis now down 6-4. Jack Harris scores his second run of the game. Brings up Jacob Nagy. Nagy 1 for 2. Drew a walk in his last at-bat on 4 straight pitches. First pitch in for strike 1.
Inside the chalk, inside. Strike 1. Let's go, Nagy. Up 12. Go, Nagy. I don't mind us.
Oh, 2 now on the foul ball.
Come on, Nagy, let's go, kid.
It's Kenneth Sullivan at first base here with 2 outs. Fly ball into right field for out number 3.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown. 104 pitches under his belt. He's given up 14 hits, 6 runs, only 5 earned. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and the 2 home runs. Those home runs came in the first 4 batters. Aaron Sale and Ashton Myers hitting dingers. Looks like we might have a pinch hitter, number 29, Yanni Patton. Patton entering today a 176 batting average, 6 hits, 3 runs scored, and 34 at-bats. Number 29. He's a junior. First pitch finds a hole there and shallow left center. For Mount Vernon As, that's their 15th hit of the game. We do have a courtesy runner. That'll bring up Toby Walker. Walker 1 for 3, had a single in his last at-bat. Fiorini looking for the double play ball. 1-0 is your count. Timeout called. There's a ball on the field. coming from diamond number 2. One is the count to Walker, the right fielder. Bova charging on the bunt. Cannot field it. Be the 3rd error of the game for St. Francis. Good hustle by Bova. That'll bring out the leadoff batter, Nick Mosier. Bosier bunts that one right to Sullivan as he catches it in the air.
We got one.
Bosier was 2 for 4. That'll bring up Sale. Sale's 4 for 4 in this game with 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. Looks like we got a pitching change. We'll be right back with the new pitcher and his stats.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education, but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Your new pitcher is going to be Anthony Miller, the junior, a 9.47 ERA. In 19 innings pitched, he's given up 33 hits, 25 runs, only 20 of those earned, 21 walks, 22 strikeouts. Opposing hitters are batting .388 against Anthony Miller. He comes here with runners at first and second. Aaron Sale at the plate. Sale's going to flash the bunt as he'll pull it back, and both runners steal. 1-0 is your count. Mount Vernon Naz entering today with 54 stolen bases. St. Francis 59. 1-0, the count to Sale. Oh, excuse me, 0-1. On deck, it's Jake Glover. Miller looking for the right signal there from his catcher, Nagy. Now to the windup.
Guess I'm back.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 0-2's your count.
Hey, attaboy, one's way up.
I tried. See the first inning?
Check swing. Ball low for ball one.
Let's go, Bill.
1-2 now your count to the number 2 batter, Sale. Evened up at 2 apiece. He's only a junior from Wooster, Ohio. 6 foot, 195. Slow roller over to Harris. We'll get the for sure for out number 2. Runners stay at second and third. Back-to-back outs will bring up Jake Glover. Glover 1 for 3 with a double, a run scored, and a walk. Grounded out to the shortstop, Harris, in his last AB. Miller up in this count 0-1. Good outing there by Fiorini. Did give up 15 hits. 6 runs, just 5 of those earned, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. And 108 pitches, 7 1/3. Counts evened up at 1 apiece.
Hey, boy, Miller. Hey, way up now, hey. Way up, boys. Hey, right here. Let's go, kid.
1-2 now your count to Glover. Starting first baseman in this game.
Let's go, Miller. No mistakes.
Glover fouls that one out of play. Tomorrow, Marion's going to travel to Mount Vernon Naz, and Grace will be at Indiana Tech. See how Grace does against Tech. They were hitting the cover off the ball against us. Mount Vernon Naz on the season is 1-5 against top 25 opponents. Their only win coming against Point Park out of Pennsylvania, and they're ranked number 16. They won that game 14-2. So when it rains, it pours. They did win the Wesleyan series 2-1 and won the Taylor series 2-0. Those are 2 big series takers right there, but losing 0-3 to Huntington is tough. Big cut, swing and a miss for out number 3. First strikeout of the game for Anthony Miller. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Cougs down by 2.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Leading it off for St. Francis is Harold Wolf, batting for David Miller. Wolf now at first base as Prince will move to the DH spot. Chopper picked up by the shortstop for out number 1. Good piece of fielding by Brant Miller. That'll bring up Brady Harris. Up next for the Cougs is a series against Spring Arbor. Spring Arbor lost their series to Mount Vernon Naz 2-1. Their lone victory was an 11-1 win. Spring Arbor played Mount Vernon Naz 4 times, winning 1, losing 3. They lost all 3 against Huntington, won all 3 against Grace, and took 2 out of 3 against Wesleyan. Lost 2 out of 3 against Taylor, so that's Spring Arbor who's coming up. 2-1 your count. Brady grounded out to the shortstop in his last ABs, 1 for 3 in this game. 3-1's the count.
I put it up there. 3-1. There you go. Let's go, Brady. What? Come here. What do you say, Brady? What do you say?
Ball comes in on number 7, third baseman Aaron Sale. He'll make the play for out number 2. Nasty hop there. That'll bring up Tony Bova. Bova 0 for 2 with the walk. First pitch popped up into shallow right. For out number 3. Last chance for the Cougs as we head to the top of the 9th. 6-4, Mount Vernon Naz on top.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
It'll be Ashton Miller to lead it off for MVNU. Mount Vernon Naz with 6 runs on 15 hits and 1 error. 4 runs, 12 hits and 3 errors for St. Francis. 1-0's your count. Ashton 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBI and a run scored.
All right, we're good. There you go.
2-0's count. Looking at Mount Vernon Naz, they have the second best team batting average in the Crossroads League, batting .308. Mount Vernon Naz number 1 at .311. Pitching, Spring Arbor with a 6.25 ERAs, 9th in the Crossroads League. St. Francis comes in at 10, the 6.26. Once again, looking at the upcoming series against Spring Arbor. Their fielding percentage ranks them number 6 in the Crossroads League with a .950. Mount Vernon Naz number 1. St. Francis comes in at number 8, .943. Grayson Bethel, 9th and 10th. Pitch up and in, we got a full count. Spring Arbor's Connor Langrich has a .393 batting average that ranks him number 3 in the Crossroads League. Still a full count now. Ashton Myers. That ball just beyond the reach of Brady Harris. Leadoff batter aboard. Brings up Devin Pearl, the left fielder. Devin 1 for 4 with a single. First pitch. The ball, 1-0 your count. Matt Burlington, who's starting for Marion right now against Huntington, ranks number 1 in the Crossroads League with a 1.50 ERA. Alex McCutcheon for Huntington ranks number 2 with a 1.75 ERA. Jake Glover ranks number 5 for MVNU. 1-1 your count. Bethel's losing to Taylor right now, 5-3 in the 9th. Spring Arbor beating Goshen 7-2 in the 7th. And Huntington and Marion are scoreless in the 4th. 2-1 your count. Oh my, Wesleyan beating Grace 20-14 in the 8th. Wow. Shouldn't say I'm surprised after the series we had with Grace. But you want to keep an eye out on that Huntington score. So taking second, gonna be Pearl. Guess that was a balk, but I didn't hear a balk called. Ball hit in the left. Harris did not see it at first. Picked it up late. Myers going to come home to score. RBI double. MVNU goes up 7-4. bring up Brant Miller, shortstop. Singled in his last at-bat. 2 for 4 in this game. First pitch ball, 1-0 is your count. Let's take a look and see what the reigning Crossroads League Offensive Player of the Week's doing in that Wesleyan game. Chris Griffin's 2 for 5 with a run and 2 RBI. Houston Haney's 3 for 4. Jaron Wallet is 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored and 2 RBI. He was just a pinch runner in our series against Grace. 2-1's the count. Brady West, 4 for 6, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI for Wesleyan. Oh my. Ethan English with 8 RBI. Wesleyan's got 2 guys with 4 runs scored. That's English and Eder. Thixton has 3 runs scored. (20-15) now after Grace picks up a run in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2's your count. Pearl will take third on the pass ball. 3-2's your count.
Come on, Miller. Get him yourself, man.
Huntington with 1 hit, Marion 0 hits. Joey Butts throwing a no-hitter. Ball hitting the right. McCowan. That one's going to hit off his shoulder. And they're going to hold him up at third for Brant Miller. Outfielders having a hard time tracking this ball as Pearl comes home to score. Still 0 outs. 8-4 now your score. (17 hits for MVNU, 4 errors for St. Francis. Kobe Miller going to come to the plate. Kobe going to bat for Cam Miller. Kobe Miller with a .455 batting average, 5 hits, 9 runs scored, and 11 at-bats, 2 RBI, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. 1-0 is the count. Kobe Miller goes 5'10", 185 for the junior. He's an infielder, outfielder from Millersburg, Ohio. He'll get hit. We got runners at the corners. I think that's going to be it for Anthony Miller as he's pointing to his right arm. We'll be right back after this short break.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And look at his cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless,
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting.
New pitcher for St. Francis, Kyle Zabarski, a 4.94 ERA. He's appeared in 16 games, which is most for the Cougars. In 23.2 innings pitched, he's given up 20 hits, 15 runs, 13 earned, 9 walks, 19 strikeouts. Opposing batters are hitting .233 against Kyle Zabarski. Zabarski's a senior, 6'2", 210 from Willoughby, Ohio.
Come on, twos.
First pitch to Corey Clark. It's fouled off. Clark 0 for 3 in this game with 3 strikeouts. The starting second baseman. He was pinch hit for in his last AB. We got a runner in a pickle. That's going to get away from Harris. And coming home to score the 9th run of the game for MVNU is Brant Miller. The pinch hitter for Clark was Yanni Patton with the single. Courtesy runner is Christian Bacon at second, the senior. 1-1 your count. One and two your count, 0 outs. Corey Clark. Big cut, swing and a miss. Route number 1. Clark now 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That'll bring up Toby Walker. Walker 1 for 4. His last at-bat, he reached on an E4 and had a stolen base. 1-0's count. Nine runs, 17 hits, 1 error for Mount Vernon Naz. 4, 12, and 4.
Yeah, it was easy. Hey, keep it being twos. Hey,
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 and 2 now to Toby Walker. Sophomore from Archbold, Ohio. Got 2 high school games going on here at the World Baseball Academy. Mount Vernon Naz with 3 runs here in the top of the 9th. Extending their lead to 5 runs. Pitch just misses, full count now. It's Kyle Zabarski on the bump. So with 1 out, Walker will take first on the walk. We'll bring up the leadoff batter, Nick Mosier. Mosier, who tried to bunt in the 8th inning and lined out right to Caden Sullivan. Sullivan charging on the plate, just jumped in the air and snagged it. 0-1, your count. Watched a mini documentary on Ted Williams yesterday, about 50 minutes long. I think it was on Netflix. Splendid Splinter. Harris, 6-4. They'll get him at second. 2 outs. Mosier safe on the fielder's choice. Bacon now at third base. Your batter is Aaron Sale, who leaded off this game with a home run. 2-run home run. Well, I guess the one thing I didn't know about Ted Williams was how hard-headed he was. Didn't have a relationship with the media, wouldn't tip his cap to the crowd. Strong-headed individual. Boy, could he play baseball. Went to war twice throughout his playing career. He went into the last game of his 400th season batting .399.5. So he didn't even need to bat in that last doubleheader. But they had him play anyways. I believe he was like 4 for 6 and ended up with a .406 batting average.
Come on, 22, let's get him, baby.
He's got a book out there, The Art of Hitting. It's a must read for all young ball players. He said you got to whip that bat through the zone. He's absolutely right. Chopper. Zabarski to first. Wolf makes the grab for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. 9-4 MVNU.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education, but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless, that's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Your new pitcher is number 9, the closer, Adam Goodpaster, a sophomore, 6 foot 200. Carlisle, Ohio, entering today with 6 saves under his belt. A 2.25 ERA in 16 innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 6 runs, 4 of those earned. 8 walks, 19 Ks. Opposing batters are hitting 186 against the sophomore Goodpaster. Once again, his 6 saves ranks him number 12 in the country. Leading it off will be Mikhail McCowan. 1 for 4 in this game. Mikhail the chopper, barehanded by the shortstop. Nice play there by Brant Miller for out number 1. Showing a little swag there with the bare hand. Oh, he's loving it. Mount Vernon Nass has a quiet confidence about him. They'll bring up Jack Harris. First pitch inside for strike 1. Harris 4 hits and 4 at-bats with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Rips that one down the left field line. He'll round first for a second. That'll be the 3rd double of the game for Jack Harris. Jack Harris now 5 for 5 at the plate. 1 out brings up Tyler Prince. Prince 2 for 4 with a strikeout. That one in right field. Count's going to be evened up at 1 apiece.
I'm not French.
Prince sitting back on that one, drills it to left. That'll be caught at the warning track as Harris is going to stay at second for out number 2. Huntington now with 2 hits, Marion with 1. 3 hits combined in that game at Huntington. They're in the top of the 6th. Brings up Noah Frymuth with Harris at second. Boy, Prince just missed that one, but that's been all year. He's drilled a lot of balls the warning track. Frymuth hops on the first pitch, backhanded. by the first baseman, Corey Clark, for out number 3. So that will do it, as MVNU is going to win it 9-4 over your Cougs to take game 1 of this series. Games number 2 and 3 will be played next Tuesday here at the World Baseball Academy at the Ash Center. Thanks for joining us, folks.